you going, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to button up the rest of the stuff on the engine. I'm going to do the spark plugs, put the coil packs in, plug in the injectors, then probably put the radiator in, then get through all that, then I'll jack it up again, then we can put the clutch together, then I'll see how I go, put the gearbox in. So I gapped all the plugs, then I'll put the coil packs and the wiring on, then put the new pigtails for the injectors on, so all the injectors are plugged in now. Alright, so now the fuel system's all buttoned up. Now I can throw the radiator in. Just gonna give it a clean, so filthy. Then whack it in. And once that's in, I'll hook up all the radiator piping, then I'll jack it up then with the clutch in. So. Righto, it's been a bit since I picked up the camera. What I've done, got all the cover on, I've installed the radiator, clutch fan, installed the belt. Now it's time I'll jack it up, put it back on the stands and put the clutch in, then probably the gearbox. So it's another weekend. Probably the last clip I left off was me jacking the car up and putting it on stands. I didn't pick the camera up after that. I just wasn't really feeling that well. I just wanted to get it over and done with. So what I did last week, got the box in. I've got all the dump pipe, external wastegate, hooked the catch can lines up, put the radiator pipes on, pretty much reassembled the engine bay. So what the plan is today is to fill it with fluids, engine oil, gearbox oil. I got my tail shaft back from being balanced because with that kit I got a new tail shaft with it. Spent like 1,300 bucks on a custom tail shaft to suit the TR6060, and from when I first drove it, it was like vibrating and I couldn't drive it over 100 k's an hour because it just vibrated the crap out of the car. So got it checked and the tail shaft was bent. So got it all fixed, that's all good now. So let's start knocking it off and hopefully get it done today. So I got the exhaust and tail shaft in. So now I'm going to start putting in the intercooler piping, getting that sorted. My intercooler is actually on Chris's Skyline, so I need to bring Chris's Skyline in so I can rip the intercooler off of it so I can put it back on mine. Because that's his there. We pretty much put mine on his because we're trying to diagnose why he wasn't getting any boost. So we're thinking, oh yeah, his intercooler's a bit heavy going, so change the intercooler. Still no problem, but turns out it was just a cat that's like folded in itself and it's like suffocating the exhaust. So that's all good. So I'm gonna pull that intercooler off. Mind the blue silicone hose that's gonna go soon, but cooler piping is in. Now got to bring Chris's R32 in to get that intercooler off. You should hear this thing. It's got like 280 cams in it, so it's proper lumpy. So I'll bring it in. So I got the intercooler piping on, hooked up the intake. Also ran a new water coolant overflow line to a new barb fitting. Now all that's really is left is to have the battery on. I've got to change the fuel filter. Then, just trying to think what else. Hook up the shifter. Then once it's started and everything, I'm just got to wait on Tom to come and start it. Hopefully he comes today, I'm praying for it. Then I can bleed the brakes and clutch, then should be good to drive. So, get stuck into the rest of it and see how far we get, and hopefully Tom comes. So, righto, let's finally let it down off the jack stands. Alright, so it's another day. Sorry this video's been a bit all over the shop. A lot has like happened that I'm didn't really get a chance to film or whatever. Where I left off, I lowered it down so we could get to pretty much start it when Tom was over, and I'll give you a rundown on what happened. So I started to film when we were just about to turn it over. Then as I turned it on to prime the fuel system, every injector was like pissing out fuel. So I had to pull the rail off and do all that. Then fix the issue. Well, the issue was I had to put, my old injectors had like spaces on them, and as well as the rail had spaces, but I didn't use that for my new ones because I thought, no, they're a bit different, but I could just like change the O-rings and put the spaces back on, so that fixed that issue. Then the starter motor shit itself, so that was good. So now I've got to pull the starter motor off. I've got a new one, so I've got to see if that will fit. If it does, I'll whack it in, then we can try and see if there's oil pressure through that turbo feed line. So I put back together the stuff I had to take off for the fuel rail. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, there's spaces there. That's what I had to put on there. So yeah, I'll rip the starter motor off and hopefully it's the same one. Then we can finally try it. And also what happened, I forgot to say, I don't know what happened, but when I put this water neck on, the gasket must have fell because there's like a tube that you have to fit in there with O-rings, and when I went to fit it in there, it must have dropped the gasket. So as I was filling the coolant, it just like pissed out of there. So I'll jack it up again, rip the starter motor out, and hopefully it fixes it. Finally have oil pressure. It finally runs. Such a good feeling. Like, there's little things I still have to fix, like it's not starting with the key. I don't really know why it's doing it, but we're just starting it by jumping where the relay is for the starter. But yeah, it runs. It's so keen. So the next time we start it is when we actually drive it. So I've got a few things to button up so I know it's like 100% to drive. That means like I have to bleed the brakes, to bleed the clutch, get the bonnet on. But other than that, I haven't heard it sound like that in so long. It's like, it's so good. Yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. The next episode you see will be at driving, so get keen for that, because I am. Tell you what, it's been so long. Oh my god. Yeah. But yeah, we're having trouble with getting oil into it, but being like we couldn't open up the oil pump, because usually when you get new oil pumps, you kind of crack them open, pull them full like petroleum jelly or oil or whatever. We couldn't get it undone, so we just like throw it in, and yeah, it was like yeah, it took a while for the oil to get through, but once it got through, it was good. I didn't know, but like these Siltec idle air control valves, bloody noisy. Like it makes you think something's wrong with it. Like I haven't heard that noise before. But just because I've got it open straight out of the valve. So I'll just run an AN line like just down somewhere with like a filter on the end of it, so I'll get rid of that noise. Other than that, yeah, it's good. I've got all the shifter assembly back together, so I think all that's left, put the bonnet on, hopefully try to drive it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.